Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. It's all good. Okay. So hi everyone and welcome to another live session from the series Engineering Qualification Validation in Australia. And this is session number 110 that I hold every week, which means that for 110 weeks, which is more than 2 years, I am here every week talking about a subject related to the engineering qualification validation in Australia, about in other subjects. But first, for those that don't know me, my name is Gerson Ida and I'm the founder of www.engineersinaustralia.com, a website that I created to share information and content of value and useful information to help you in your journey to validate your engineering qualification in Australia. And I also share information about workplace health and safety, environmental management, day-to-day of engineering in Australia, and also about professional engineering recruitment. And if you haven't joined my Telegram group yet, I will put my link of my engineering qualification validation group in Telegram in the comments so you guys can kind of join my group. Currently, I've got more than 800 members in the group, where I post audios, videos, and some notifications and updates about engineering qualification and also about jobs as well. So I'm just going to copy and paste from my notes, and I'm going to paste in YouTube, paste in Instagram, and paste in Facebook. Those ones on Instagram, you can also go to the link in my bio, and then once you click on that link, it will open up a box, and there is one button which is to join my Telegram group. Telegram is like a WhatsApp. It's a messaging app. And also, just remembering that at the beginning of September, I'm going to promote my free online workshop. I want to become an engineer in Australia. That's the name of my workshop. So, and to register in the next event and get my emails with the notifications of when the event is coming with the different sessions that you're going to have, you can also register for free in the link that I'm pasting in the comments as well. So let's get down to the business now. And some of you are like me here in Brisbane. You are in lockdown, especially if you are in one of those LGAs in the Greater Sydney. And here in Brisbane and in the Southeast Queensland, we are in lockdown until Tuesday. So we'll see how it happens. So hopefully you guys are all right and you can enjoy the content tonight. So let's get down to the business now. And I'm here to talk about one of the biggest enemies in your validation process, which is procrastination. And my first question to you, and I would like to see if you guys can put in the comments, are you a procrastinator? Yes or no? So I'll contribute and I will reply here because that is my answer there. Are you a procrastinator? So that's my answer in the comments. So I would like to see your comments. Are you like me, that you are a procrastinator? And I can tell you, I am a very good procrastinator. I'm kind of like a professional procrastinator. If it's something needs to be done, I will do it, but perhaps not now. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is a mechanism for coping with the anxiety associated with starting or completing any task or decision. Or in simple words, putting things off. And the preferred statement of a procrastinator is always going to be, why do it today if we can always do it tomorrow? So how many of you already said that statement? Why do it today if you can always do it tomorrow? So that's the usually the procrastinator statement. And there are some types of procrastinators. And you don't need to take notes because I'm going to share this PDF with you guys. I'm going to share to show you so you guys can have a look. So that's a PDF that I'm putting together that I prepared a little bit earlier. So that's for our live session number 110, procrastination. What can you do to overcome it? So hopefully you'll be able to answer this question a little bit later on when I finish the content. And so what's procrastination? The procrastinator statement, and then the types of procrastinators. So let's go and have a look at the types of procrastinators. So first, well, obviously there are many more types of procrastinators. I just kind of gathered some of the most common ones. The first one, anxious procrastinator. And I'm going to explain each one, the definition or my definition about them. Second one, fun procrastinator. The third one, plenty of time procrastinator. And the fourth type, perfectionist procrastinator. So sort of 4 types of procrastinator. And can you identify yourself before I kind of talk about the definition of each ones according to my perception? But having a look at those types of procrastinators, anxious procrastinator, fun procrastinator, plenty of time procrastinator, and perfectionist procrastinator. Which one do you, if you are a procrastinator like me, which one or which ones do you identify yourself? So I'm going to explain how you will be able to get this PDF. So as I like to do, we will interact a little bit. If you want a copy of this PDF, I will post, this is obviously a Word document, but I'll make it as a PDF. And then I'm going to post in my Telegram group. If you're not a member of the Telegram group, you can go to the comments and there is the link there for you to join the group. You just need to download the app first, and then you click on the link, and then you'll be able to join my group. Those ones in Instagram, you can go to the link in my bio and click on the link. It will open up a few buttons, and one of the buttons is to join my group. It's free. You don't need to pay anything to join the group. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a picture of this document here. Like that. Let's see. Procrastination. Yeah, take a picture of that. And I'm going to just crop it a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Good. Done. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just post in my Instagram profile as a post, new, next. And then I'm going to just write that question. Procrastination. Procrastination. And then the question, what can you do to overcome it? Write in the comments. So like the post. Like the post and write in the comments your answer. Okay. Share. So I'm sharing that post, and Yeah, that's that post there. So what I would like to see, I would like you guys to like the post and then write in the comments the answer of that question. What can you do to overcome procrastination? And then if I have some engagement, likes, and comments, I will then post this PDF in my Telegram group, so you can then download. Don't forget that the PDF will have a password that I'm going to tell you during the live session. Okay, the first type of procrastinator is going to be the anxious procrastinator. So what's the anxious procrastinator? They are the people who procrastinate a lot. They're usually bad at managing their time and often end up scheduling more work that they can actually do, leaving no time for fun activities or resting. Because they're so anxious, they don't know how to say no. And they just keep accepting. And in the end, they ended up accepting much more work or tasks that they can actually do. So then they don't really start anything, leaving no time then for fun, and they get really stressed out. The second type of procrastinator is the fun procrastinator. The fun procrastinator would rather be doing anything except that one dreaded task. After all, there's so many fun and exciting things you could be doing instead. How can you bear to start that boring project? And perhaps the validation process is that task that you're always trying to avoid doing. Writing the career episodes and putting together the documentation, writing your CPD, writing your summary statement. Perhaps they're not, and for sure they're not the most funniest and the most enjoyable things that you could be doing. So the fun procrastinator will always have, and in Australia here, we're lucky that every weekend we probably have a barbecue to go, a little party to go, or you're just going to a night out, to a pub, etc. And then you're ready to start writing your validation process, your career episodes, and then a friend rings and say, "Hey, Jerson, let's go out and let's go to the pub and have some beer." So yeah, you then start thinking, well, I've got the beer, the friends are good, enjoying fun, and have to write my career episodes. Oh wow, I can always start tomorrow. And remember the procrastinator statement: why do it today if you can always do it tomorrow? So that's a fun procrastinator. And then there's the plenty of time procrastinator. And this is where people find it very difficult to start a project when they know the deadline is a long way off. And this type of procrastination is clearly visible in students who often struggle to start an essay early or to study for an exam, rather than just a few days before the deadline. Who never did that? When I was at school, even at university, I think that I always left to the last minute, just to the night before, and then didn't sleep. I was just studying the whole night and not even sleeping, and then go in the morning to do my exams. And because I knew that I could have started probably a few weeks before. But, why start today if I can always study one night before? Who never did that? And that's probably the same with the validation process. There are different motivations why people will do the validation process. And would be interested to know, what is your motivation to do the validation process? Just going to open my comments so I can see if you guys are commenting. I would like to know if you can answer that. What is your motivation to start or to do the validation? Why do you think you need to validate your process, or why do you want to validate your engineering qualification? Are you after a visa? Are you after a registration with Engineers Australia? Are you after just perhaps it's something that you want to do it just to kind of make sure that you are validated as an engineer in Australia? Perhaps you hold already a visa and you just want to make sure that you are qualified and then you can work as an engineer legally. All right, migration and better life. Yeah, that's certainly your ultimate objective. When you validate your engineering qualification, it opens up a broad range of options in terms of visa and migration processes. And once you get your, let's say, your permanent visa, you have an opportunity then, obviously, depends where you are from, to have a better life. Yeah, thanks for that. So keep going. And then there's the fourth type of procrastinator that I put in here, the perfectionist procrastinator. And perfectionists are always striving for the best and as such are constantly criticizing their own work. For some perfectionists, the fear of failing or producing work to a low standard can be so overwhelming that they never actually get around to starting anything. So that's very common and very normal as well. Sometimes you are so perfectionist that, let's say in terms of your validation process, you're not going to start any writing of your career episodes. For example, if you still need to kind of get, let's say that you have already your 6 in your IELTS test, your English test, but then you want to have 8 because you want to have a better score in your English test, or you want to get all the referee letters for your former employers so you can apply straight away. And then you wait, you get the documents, you study for your English test, and you're just thinking, once I get everything, I will then start my validation process or writing the career episodes. And usually this is just an excuse that you put in your mind just to keep procrastinating because you don't want to do it, and then you start finding excuses so you can push it back. So that is the perfectionist procrastinator. And obviously tonight I'm not going to just talk about the types of procrastinators, but also share with you some strategies to overcome procrastination. And the first strategy, I'd say, that would be to prioritize your time. A lot of us, we say that, oh, I cannot start or I didn't start because I don't have time. We always say that we don't have time. But time is a matter of priority. We can always wake up 1 hour earlier. We can always go to bed 1 hour later. Perhaps we don't need to keep checking Facebook or Instagram every time that the notification bell rings, or we could share less funny videos in WhatsApp. Have you stopped and kind of noticed how much time do you spend just checking WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook every day? It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. And imagine what can you do, or what could you do if you dedicate 1 hour every day to your validation process instead of kind of checking Facebook, etc. Or even if you wake up 1 hour earlier. I know you got to study, you got to work, you got to do homework, etc., etc. But it's always a matter of priority. If the validation process is a priority for you, you certainly will be able to wake up 1 hour earlier, go to bed 1 hour later, and perhaps even that Netflix series, perhaps you don't need to binge watch and then watch kind of 10 episodes of Netflix. If you don't do that, even in a weekend, you will have probably 3, 4, 5 hours so you can dedicate to your validation process. But if you still think that you don't have time, perhaps the validation process is not your priority. And as it's in the comment there in Instagram, perhaps the migration and a better life is not your priority as well. There are other things that is in your priority. The other strategy is about money saving. A lot of people, they say, Gerson, you know, I'm really motivated to do the validation process, but I don't have money. Yes, you will need some money for the validation process. You're probably going to need about 2,000 Australian dollars for your whole validation process, because you're gonna pay your English test, which is about $400. You will need to pay Engineers Australia fees, which is about $895. You will need to pay translation. You will need to translate documents, so you need to pay for the translation. And also, if you are studying English, you need to pay your English classes as well. So, yes. And if you don't get your minimum English test score in the first test, obviously you have to pay another test and have to resit and do it again, the test, and obviously pay the fee. So you will need to pay about $2,000. And if money is your objection, again, it's a matter of priority. You can perhaps do an exercise. You can list 50 ways you can make or save some money. And probably the first 20 things is going to be easy, but then don't stop at 20. Try to think about what are the other 30 ways I can make some money. Obviously, legally, you're not going to rob a bank, but you know, there could be some things in your home that you're not using anymore. I've got my old iPhone. That's my old iPhone here. I put in Facebook Marketplace. I'm selling for $300. So not many people are interested, but eventually one day somebody will make me an offer, and I can sell that for $300. I've got a tripod that perhaps I'm not using anymore. Can I sell that for $10? Or perhaps that night out on the weekend. When you go to a night out, if you're going to drink 4 or 5 beers and have a little bit of a dinner, you're probably going to spend $100. So that's just one night. If you go Friday, Saturday, if you go every weekend in a month, you probably can save already almost 4 weekends, $200 a weekend, $800. So perhaps that travel, nowadays we can't really travel too much, but if you're planning to travel, do you really need to travel if you are saving money for your validation? So there are many things. If you still think that you don't have money, well, then perhaps the validation process is not your priority again. Yes, it is costly, the comments Instagram, and the more you have to make it count. Yeah, that's true. So it's really important to think about what is your priority. So the password for this PDF, I'm going to show you the PDF, how the PDF is taking shape. So that's a PDF, what's procrastination, the procrastinator statement, types of procrastinators, and then a little bit of definition of each type, perfectionist procrastinator, and then some strategies to overcome procrastination. I talk about the prioritize your time. Is money a problem? As you can see, I dedicated some time to put together this PDF. So did I procrastinate to do this? Yes, I did. I pretty much reviewed and finished just minutes before the live session. But I finished. I'm kind of a plenty of time procrastinator. But I finished. It's done. So The next strategy that I would like to share with you guys is to, I'm just going back to my notes here. Now I'm going to give you the password of that before I forget, because last time I forgot it. The password of this PDF that I'm going to put in my Telegram group is going to be everything in lowercase letters, so there's no capital letters. So the password is procrastination no more. So just to motivate you and to make sure that you don't procrastinate anymore. I'm actually going to put in the comments so you guys can see that. Those ones that are not really watching the video, they won't really know what that word is. But that is that's going to be the password of the PDF. Procrastination no more. And the PDF is going to be again in my Telegram group, the Engineering Qualification Validation group. The link to join the group is in my bio in Instagram and in the comments in YouTube, Facebook, and also in the comments in the Instagram. So the other strategy that I would like to share with you to overcome procrastination is to put together an action plan. So you need to put together an action plan for your competency demonstration report. Please list the tasks that you have to complete, establish deadlines, and establish, obviously, who's going to be responsible for that, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and why you're going to do it. Does this action plan look like a project? Well, yes. The completion of your competency demonstration report, or CDR, can be a very complex project. But luckily, you are all great engineers and you are very good at project management. So you will be able to put together your tasks, action plans, deadlines, you establish your milestones, and then complete your project, which is going to be then, as the ultimate result, the validation of your engineering qualification. And the other strategy that I would like to share with you guys would be to establish short-term goals. If that dreaded task, that difficult task that you don't want to do, that task that you are avoiding at any effort is looking too big to accomplish, and let's say, for example, one career episode. A career episode is about 2,000 words. Well, between 1,500 words and 2,500 words, but in average, I'd say that you're probably going to be writing about 2,000 words for each career episode. So 2,000 words is going to be a lot of work. And when you look at that, you think it's almost impossible to do it. So why not perhaps break down in short-term goals? Perhaps today you write the introduction, and perhaps the day after tomorrow you write the background, which is a little bit longer, 500 words. But then next week you write probably the first 2 paragraphs of your personal engineering activity. And then in the week after, you write another 2 or 3 paragraphs. So every time that you set up some short-term goals, every time that you achieve those tasks, you will have that very good feeling of mission accomplished. So when you say tomorrow or today, don't leave it for tomorrow, today I'm going to write the introduction, about 100 or 150 words. And then you write the introduction of your career episode. And then you finish that, you have that feeling of mission accomplished, which will give you extra motivation for tomorrow, that you're going to write perhaps your background is going to be around 500 words. Or if the whole background is too much, write half of that. just the first 2 paragraphs of the background. And then when you accomplish that, you get more motivated. After 2 or 3 days, you will be finishing the background. And then once you finish the background and the organizational chart, you have that very good feeling of mission accomplished again. So, and every time that you accomplish that objective, you will have that extra motivation to keep going. So if you have questions, please send me in the comments. I've got some questions here. What's the ideal time frame to complete the CDR? Yeah, that's a good question. Depends on your priority again. I have students of my mentoring group. One student actually, she had 2.5 weeks to complete her validation process, to submit her validation process with Engineers Australia, because her visa was expiring. And the migration agent asked her to complete her validation process and submit to Engineers Australia, so then they could kind of enter in some sort of a bridging visa, I believe. So in her case, she had a deadline of 2.5 weeks. So she did it in 2.5 weeks, but obviously it was her top priority, and she dedicated a lot of time. I can witness that she dedicated a lot of time and a lot of effort to write everything. And obviously she did my mentoring. She watched all the classes, so she learned how to write in the right way. Others, they write in 30 days, 3 months. Others, they procrastinate and they do it in 1 year or 6 months. Depends. But if you dedicate few hours a week, I'm not talking about a lot of time. If you dedicate few hours, 3-4 hours per week, not talking about per day, let's say 4 hours a week is less than 1 hour a day. 4 hours a week, every week, I can tell you that if you know how and what to do it, you will finish in about 2 months. So 8 weeks, you will finish everything. So obviously, you need to understand, you need to know how to do it. My students, after they learn how to do it, they could write a whole career episode in probably just 2 or 3 days. So once you know that, it becomes easy. And thanks for the question. Just checking any other question, conscious of time. And again, if you're interested in the free online workshop, I want to become an engineer in Australia. That's the name of the workshop. Register to the next event. I'm actually going to show you what's the website here. Just going to share my screen with you guys quickly. So this is my workshop website. I built this website, so that's why it's probably not very beautiful, but it is an engineer's website. So that's the name of the workshop. I want to become an engineer in Australia. It's 100% free and online. And the webinar starts in 34 days, because the first day of the workshop is going to be the 5th of September, 10 a.m. So 34 days, 12 hours to start our workshop. And then here, the workshop will have the opening webinar. I will be releasing 3 videos with all the contents, and then a closing webinar. And also, if you want to join my WhatsApp group just for the workshop, you can join in here. So if you're not registered, once you go to this website, engequalvolworkshop.com, you can click in here, and then it will open up a page for your registration. So you just need to put your email address. Let's say, put my name. I'm Brazilian, and let's say I'm living in Australia, and then I can register. So once I register, it will start a video there. There are 2 videos. The first one, the top one in English, the bottom one is in Portuguese. In the video, I just say that the email sometimes doesn't get to you. So I'm asking you to join the WhatsApp group so I can send you the notifications in the WhatsApp group. And also down below, you can also join my social media. And if you're not really subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, you can just search Gerson Ida, and then you can follow and watch my more than 150 videos that I have in there. All right. Any other question there? I hope that the content was useful for you guys. And where is that? Sorry. Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, I think it went back. So I hope that the content was useful for you guys, and it can help you to understand why sometimes you guys are procrastinating, and what can you do then to perhaps overcome your procrastination. And if I don't really have any more questions, I would like to thank you for your attendance and your participation. And I'll see you next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time, with another subject about the engineering qualification validation. Thank you, and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.